Today I'm going to be ranking the best crypto exchanges for the UK. Unless you've been living under a rock, the UK has been going under some hard times when it comes to crypto regulations. And this is because of advertising. You see, it's very hard for crypto companies to advertise right now, and that means it's going to be hard for them to get users. And the one problem that the UK have right now is that they are not treating crypto like an opportunity to advance in technology. If you haven't seen the interviews with China.
The UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has accused China of interfering in democracy.
China will say we're the biggest producer of EV vehicles, we're the biggest producer of this, producer of that. What have the UK got? They haven't got technology, they haven't got production, they haven't got the best politics. Right now the situation is very, very dire, and that is why finding a good crypto exchange where you can let your money work for you and you can make the right investments, where some people are making 10, 20, 50, even 100x on their investments. This stuff is real. For you to have the opportunity to do so is possibly the best opportunity of the next 5 years. Over here I've created a guide, and this will show you some of the best exchanges. Now before we get into it, I want to give you a quick summary. First of all, the guides to investing, right? You want to explore different ways of investing: long-term, short-term, staking, yield farming. And I've got so many different tutorials. I've actually created over 5 hours of tutorials on staking, yield farming, ICOs, IDOs, the whole lot of it. So you can get in there and educate yourself on the actual scene. If you're not educating yourself on crypto right now, then you are falling behind. This presentation is based on a Forbes article, and the sponsor of the Forbes article was eToro. So it doesn't mean that the best exchange is eToro, but that was the sponsor and I thought I'd put it in there. So first things first, you have Coinbase. Now Coinbase is the leading cryptocurrency exchange right now. It's the biggest one out there. It's got one of the largest venture capital funds out there as well, which are invest in different projects. They've got Base Chain. Coinbase is probably the best one. However, it does have the strongest KYC requirements, and they will send out your information before they've ever been asked. That's the thing. You really have to be careful with KYC requirements, because when you make a good trade, great. But once you take profit, you're getting taxed on that. And the UK is very, very heavy. You know, sometimes as high as 40% tax on capital gains, which is ridiculous. Okay, the next thing is Gemini. Gemini is a great exchange. It's been around since the dawn of time, and you know, it's one of the most reputable exchanges out there after Coinbase. Then you've got eToro. eToro is okay, but again, you don't actually own your crypto when you buy through eToro. As far as I know, when you buy through eToro, you get paper money. You know, my auntie was trading on eToro, and she was telling me, she was like, "Oh, Tara, I've got this Bitcoin and I'm making money on it." And I said to her, like, "What? Can you withdraw in Bitcoin?" And she's like, "No, I have to close the trade on Bitcoin, and then I get paid out in pounds or whatever." And I said to her, like, "Yeah, that's great, but not your keys, not your crypto," is one of the biggest sayings in there. And the reason is because if you do not control the Bitcoin that you've got, it kind of takes away from the point of it, right? You're only trading it for profit. But this game isn't just about profit, it's about decentralization, free speech, and being able to be in control of your own money. If you guys know about Bitcoin, which is coming, that means that you won't have control in your own money, which is crazy, crazy dangerous, right? And finally, we have Bitflex. I decided to choose Bitflex. I'm an affiliate for Bitflex. Recommend you guys check it out. But it does have the lowest KYC requirements. Still works in the UK, and it reminds me of an old school Bybit and KuCoin. If you guys remember, Bybit and KuCoin back in the day was the one. Like, can't explain it enough. Like, the growth that Bybit, KuCoin, and actually Swissborg had last cycle was ridiculous, and I see that in Bitflex again. It's a group of like-minded people. They've got a lot of big influencers in the space, and no doubt it will rise. They'll take on new coins, they'll do great new stuff, and also the KYC isn't going to be that bad for a while, right? So you're all good. Now, one key point I want to express with this as well is when you look for an exchange, one of the biggest questions I get is people say, "What about my safety?" And they say, "Tara, where do you have all your money?" And they're always shocked when I tell them this, that I don't put all my money and all my net worth in one exchange. It doesn't make sense. I have over 50 crypto wallets, like MetaMasks and all that stuff, so decentralized ones, EVMs as they call it, and I have over 5 different crypto exchanges. So when I see somebody online goes, "Oh yeah, use Bybit," I just download it for the sake of it. I'll do the challenges. I'll get my free money for doing the challenges and the promotions. People always say, oh, but you have to have a lot of money to do so. Yeah, I've got something to help you make a bit of money to get the exchange bonuses as well. Then I'll set up a KuCoin, for example. Then I'll set up a Binance, and I'll set up a Coinbase. I'll set up all these different exchanges. And the reason is because any one of these exchanges can go down at any time. We all seen FTX. We all seen that Binance is getting questioned for how much money they've got on the back end, right? So it's not wise to put all your eggs in one basket, but it's actually very smart to just take advantage of all of the different competitions and basically set up every single one of these exchanges. Because when the time comes, if you're preparing to be a multi-millionaire in the crypto space, then hey, if you hit good on a trade, then don't be surprised if you start getting questioned when you've got all your money in one exchange. That's why I spread it out. We have taken into account stuff like the overall currencies that they've got available, the fiat, okay, which is like your money, the exchanging Bitcoin to pounds. It was the biggest question for beginners. Like, yeah, I want to buy this Bitcoin, but how do I turn it back to pounds? Well, the exchange needs to be able to have your currency available, okay? The overall liquidity, that's the amount of money available on the market, right? We've all seen a bank run. Back in the day, I think it was in like America, where everybody took their money from the bank. That can happen with crypto exchanges. It's no different. So you want to have the right amount of liquidity, which means money, on the exchange. And also trading fees. Trading fees is the interesting one. When I first started in this game, I didn't even take it into account. I was just trying to make money. I was like, I don't even care if I make money or whatever. But what happens is, when you run an exchange with high trading fees, you can think you're in the profit, but you're actually in a loss because you're just getting fees on every single transaction that you do. And also, sometimes when you sat on a trade for a while, there's something called funding fees. And what can happen is you can start to lose your position because of how expensive the funding fees are. So trading fees was very, very important when taken into account. And that's why I put Coinbase up there. It has large fees, but it also outweighs it with the fact that it has the most liquidity, okay? Advanced trading features. Coinbase is okay. You're not going to get nothing advanced. But if we go back, when you're looking at Gemini and Bitflex and a little bit of eToro, you get more advanced trading. That's why I'd recommend, if you're looking to do swing trades and daily trades, I do it on Bitflex. Gemini I'd go with as well for different types of trading as well. And then Coinbase, I kind of go for the spot. And you can also set something up on Coinbase as well, where you can set up reoccurring payments. If you've got a 9-to-5 job or anything like that, every single month you can get your money automatically put into Bitcoin. And I made a lot of money on XLM back in the day because I literally just had 200 or 300 pounds a month for when I was working, just going into XLM. And when the bull market came, I was up like 10 or even 20x. And I was looking at it and I was like, wow, I'm moving to crypto full time, right? As I see that. So the next thing is security and storage. Security is important for exchanges. We all know this. But also staking rewards, right? Staking rewards is something that not a lot of people talk about. These exchanges, none of them, to my knowledge, do have very good staking rewards. Coinbase is okay. What Gemini, eToro, and Bitflex is like not too good. So it's a shame because if you was able to use Bybit like we was before, Bybit has some crazy staking rewards and they're all cool. But yeah, these ones you're gonna get okay. Gemini, I don't think Gemini has it, but I know for a fact Coinbase does have some type of staking rewards. So yeah, get involved with staking. Right now is a good time compared to when we was at the top. It's hard to really start staking because you're competing against the actual fact of I think they call it impermanent loss, which is a fancy word for basically if you're investing, let's say Ethereum, and you're gonna get staking 20% a year for that Ethereum. Well, what about if that Ethereum goes down 50%? Right, that's impermanent loss for you, right? Along them lines, of course. Next thing that you can have a look at for you, which is very important. Now, this is for you, okay? I don't want to be the guy that preaches and tells you what to do. For you, you need to have a look at security, again, liquidity, advanced trading, make sure it's user-friendly, fees, and also availability. Because it's very real that the crypto space, it can change fast, right? Again, this is why I say, guys, just set up on all of these exchanges. Like, just set up on every single one, because why not? Why not be on every single exchange? Because then you've got your eggs spread across all baskets, and it's easy to withdraw and send to a different exchange, and everyone has like wallets, okay? So yeah, diversify so you have as much availability as possible on these crypto exchanges, okay? A question I get asked a lot, how much money is required to get involved in crypto? Actually, not a lot. I do recommend you follow a strict process. And the process for getting involved in crypto is this. Listen very, very closely, because if you don't, you're going to lose this game. That's the sorry fact of it. Number one, you need to learn a high income skill. Number two, right, you need to get a job. If you don't have a job, get a job. In fact, that should be number one. Right, get a job. Right. The reason for that is simple. You need a base level of cash flow, because the biggest mistake that so many people make is they trade a bit on the side and they make a bit of money, but then let's say you make $10,000. Wow. Still not going to change your life. What you want, my friend, is you want $1 million. You want $10 million. So what do? You take that $10,000 you made on that amazing trade early in the cycle because of that coin that Tyrell suggested, and you're like, wow. And then you put it into another coin. Then you put it in another coin. Then you put it in another coin. And before you know it, it's the end of the cycle. It's down 50%. The whole market is down 90%. And you've blown a $50,000 portfolio. Let me know in the comments how many people that happened to. A lot. And the reason for that is because you didn't have a base level cash flow. You wasn't making money from somewhere else. To the point where you can start to look into things in perspective and go, okay, I'm getting 10 grand from there. Great. But now I'm making 10 grand a month. So instead of having to flip money, I can hold on to that investment and let it ride. I'm not in a pressure to sell it. If somebody says they've got a new coin, great. I've got new money coming in, which I can put into that new coin, which I'm not bothered about losing because I've signed 5 new clients this month. Right? And that might sound crazy. Right? It might sound crazy, but guess what? We built a free course and we documented starting a $0 to $9,000 per month business in 45 days. So take that in. All documented, the sales calls, the proposals, the building out of the business, the profile, every little thing to show you that this is physically possible. And the best thing is this is for free. And we also do have obviously paid mentorship and all that jazz, but this is for free. So you can get started without having no skills, no experience, whatever. And the funny part is it's the same thing I did when I started out. Okay, so to conclude with you guys, those are the best crypto exchanges. I recommend you spread your wealth around and you do not rely on one crypto exchange, especially some of these people that use decentralized exchanges as well. It's the same thing, right? Whether you're using MetaMask or Exodus or anything that you guys use, have multiple wallets, right? Have multiple exchanges, and that will give you abundance. That will take away the risk of having to rely on one exchange. The UK right now, the situation is very dire. Hopefully they change it. I really hope they do, because otherwise a lot of people are going to miss out on a lot of opportunities. Well, thank you very much for tuning in, guys. My name is Tyrell. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and check out this video for the list of my best crypto tokens I'm buying for the next crypto market cycle to make 20x on the portfolio. Peace.